Yo, people, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Stop Lounge. This is episode number 20. I am Jan. On the other side is Malcolm. Bro, welcome back. Hope you had a
Cheers,
great
bro.
holiday in Cyprus. How you doing?
I'm alright, bro. Thank you very much. I'm okay. It was nice. It was lit. But it was. Did we already do? Did I already come back from Cyprus and I already said it? No.
No. This is the first time.
Or am I tripping? I'm bugging. Alright, I'm bugging.
Yeah.
I'm bugging out. Yeah, it was a great holiday, bro. I had more fun than I actually expected, and it was amazing. So now I'm back on the rock, back to it, and let's see how it goes. How are you, bro? All good?
Yeah, all good. You've missed out of all races. You've missed out on Monza, and your team came out victorious in the end. And yeah, I mean, you can hear my thoughts on the episode, which is
I
out now
heard them.
about
I heard
Spotify and
them. I
YouTube.
heard them.
But yeah, well deserved, I think. I mean,
Yeah,
based on
absolutely,
based
bro.
on how the weekend turned out,
I couldn't
fully
see the
deserved.
race, bro. I couldn't see the race. The one race I don't see, we win.
It was deja vu in 2019, basically.
Oh,
A casa nostra Charles.
the emotion that I felt back in 2019, crazy, bro. Crazy. Tears were falling off my eyes. And if I saw the race, it would have been the same. Actually, it would
Yeah,
have been even more emotional
yeah.
because we have an
Listen,
even worse car.
listen. A Ferrari winning Monza is always
Sorry,
special.
pardon me.
So yeah, it's okay. No, as I was saying, a Ferrari win is always special in Monza. So I
This
think, and
acid
even
reflux is killing me, bro. Sorry.
yeah. No, as I was saying, a Ferrari win in Monza is always special, bro. I mean, and even Leclerc of all things. I mean, Leclerc has a lot of fans around the globe. So to him, winning in Monza is a special feeling. Other
True.
than that, I'm good. Preparing myself for Slovakia as well. It's just in 2 days'
Almost,
time.
yeah, almost two
Yeah,
days. Let's get it. Let's
two
go.
days time. So really looking forward to it. Gonna spend around the week there.
You know, I sent you a picture about Assassin's Creed Slovakia.
Yeah.
You see,
I did see it actually. I did see it. Yeah.
just an idea for you to maybe attempt a leap of faith.
Yeah, listen, I may plan to do that, maybe, or I maybe like do a similar stunt, but anyhow, no,
Nothing
really
is true.
excited.
Everything is permitted.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm really excited for the tour. I mean, I'm gonna be alone, but I'm gonna be alongside the tour. It's gonna be my first solo trip, I would say, but at the same time, I'm gonna be with a tour of around like 25 people, so I'm not gonna be alone. I'm gonna be in some good company, but yeah, overall, I'm doing great. I'm just waiting for the holiday, obviously, but we also had a race this weekend, and it was a great race to
Very good,
witness as
very
well.
good. It was lit.
And
It was.
that's going to be the meat of this episode, guys. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku. And before we get into that, make sure to follow us on our socials. You know the drill by now. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify for our fellow listeners. Make sure to let us know your thoughts on each and on every single episode with the polls we give out on every single episode, both on Spotify and YouTube. And
Yeet,
without further ado, let us begin today's episode, guys.
yeet. Let's go.
Before we get into Baku, we have some significant breaking news off the track. It's another worst kept secret because unfortunately these news in Formula One gets leaked months ahead, guys, before it gets actually announced. And this is another worst kept secret, just like last week where we've had Kimi Antonelli joining Mercedes, and now we have the team from Oxfordshire, and I mean there's no other place to start than the team at Oxfordshire, and that is Aston Martin. Now, Autosprint said that months ago, during the summer break, Autosprint, which is the famous and pop and acclaimed Italian magazine, had reported that Adrian Newey would be joining Aston Martin, and they got that news on the bullseye. Adrian Newey is officially joining Aston Martin from next season as the chief engineer. It's not going to be Ferrari, it's not going to be McLaren or Williams. And Autosprint got that news absolutely on the bullseye. I mean, both of us predicted that Adrian Newey was going to end up at Aston Martin. Now, we already gave our initial thoughts on this move, but to just go through it very quickly. I'm just going to start with myself. Um, Not the biggest fan of the move. I think money is involved in it. I mean, obviously Lawrence Stroll provided literally an open blank check for Adrian Newey, and obviously he was going to accept it with that. And I don't think Ferrari was going to be a realistic move for Adrian Newey. I mean, not even McLaren or Williams. He was already with them in the past. Um, I mean, Jeremy Clarkson said himself in the British at Silverstone during an interview with Martin Brundle that he was house hunting in Oxfordshire and not in Maranello. Um, Newey's wife wanted Adrian himself to stay in the UK. So I guess that the move kind of it's a sensible move in the long run and in the present and in the present outcome right now. But for Aston Martin, it's a statement signing. I mean, this is a guy that's won 28 World Championship titles over the number of decades he has been into the sport. So this is obviously a statement move for Aston Martin. Obviously, I mean, now obviously the drivers are already confirmed for next season. That will be obviously Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso, who is reaching his climax pretty much of his Formula One career. He's into his 40s, and I'm guessing obviously he signed a new contract this year, and this was probably going to be his final contract in Formula One. I just can't see it of him extending his contract in the long run.
Who knows, bro? Who knows now?
Yeah, no, I
Who
mean,
knows
I mean,
now?
anything can happen. Anything can happen
Who
in this
knows
sport.
now? Who knows, man?
Bro, I think you already gave out your thoughts on this move, but just
Look,
want to hear out your
just
thoughts once it's
listen, bro.
confirmed now, it's
Listen, bro.
finalized.
Listen, bro. Just like you said, it's another worst kept secret within the sport because everybody knew about it. That Adrian Newey was going somewhere, and also Jeremy Clarkson did say that he's house hunting in Oxfordshire, not in Maranello. Now listen, he did say that he would like to stay in the UK. So, regards to family, no issue whatsoever. Family first over everything. I absolutely agree with that.
Respect for that.
Now, in regards to him going to Aston Martin, I mean, he already was with Williams. He already was with McLaren. And
Yeah.
I believe for Adrian Newey, this came at the perfect time. Still in the UK, a team that's up and coming, still wanting to prove themselves as a top contender. Adrian Newey, renowned, won 25 world championships with his car.
Yeah.
Has 25 world championships, so it is absolutely the perfect time. Lawrence Stroll would have met him and slapped an open checkbook on the table. It's like, here, write your amount. Here we go. Just write your amount. Because listen, 13 million a year, bro. That's how much is that? 1.25?
Yeah, I mean, my
1.1.
maths isn't the best, but I think it's somewhere between those lines. Yeah,
let me pull out the calculator real quick, bro.
somewhere between those lines,
I'm
definitely.
gonna pull out the real quick. So let's go. 30 million.
Yeah.
So let's see. I think I need to add another zero. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Divide by 12.
Let's just do the maths here. I mean, this is a first in the pit stop
Yeah,
lounge, guys.
yeah. That's 1.25 million a month, bro.
That's insane numbers.
That's
I mean, when you have
crazy, man.
when you have Lawrence
1.25 a
when you
month.
have Lawrence Stroll in the team as like one of the as the main guy in charge of a Formula One team, there's gonna be money involved, like millions of money involved.
Now listen. For me, he's worth every penny. He's worth absolutely every penny. And this
obviously, I
came
mean,
at
as
the
I said,
perfect time. Aston Martin, I have absolutely no hate against Aston Martin. The only downside for me is because he has to design a car for someone like
yeah.
Lance Stroll.
And even this week, I mean, Lance Stroll in practice, he was like, I mean, straight away, just a day after the new announcement, Lance Stroll wanted to act like Nicky Lauda, basically, just say that he's not driving a car. Like
Now he's talking.
Get back in your fucking lane, brother.
Bro. Now he's talking. Just the day after Newey was announced. The audacity, bro.
That is so selfish from him, man.
The audacity to even say that. You don't say nothing at all. Adrian Newey comes in the door. Now you want to talk.
That's incredibly selfish. That's incredibly selfish for Lance Stroll.
Not selfish. Total bullcrap. Like
Ego.
Like, You had all
Ego.
that time. You had all that time to complain about the car. You didn't say a goddamn thing. Now someone like Adrian Newey comes in. He hears you say that, so he can go like, "Oh, I can fix that."
Yeah. And do you
Like,
think?
how you think people?
Yeah.
He thinks people are stupid, but they're
Yeah.
not.
Obviously, no. I mean, not everyone is stupid in Formula One. So,
That's the first thing I
um,
said immediately.
anyhow, do you think that this is going to be his biggest challenge yet? In his
Yes.
Formula One career, I
Yes.
kind of agree, to be honest, that he
Yes,
is.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Listen, with the demand of the sport nowadays, with someone like Aston Martin, someone like Lawrence Stroll breathing down your neck,
Yeah.
with the amount of competition that there is in the grid, teams like McLaren, teams like Red Bull, teams like Mercedes, teams like Ferrari,
Yeah.
and for an up and coming Aston Martin who want to prove themselves to be a top contender, absolutely.
No, because I was looking
Do I
back at the
believe?
history. Yeah.
Do I believe that he can produce a car for Aston Martin? No doubt. It's all gonna come down to the drivers to how do I put it, to maximize
To
the
maximize the best of
cars,
the car. Yeah.
to maximize the car's potential that Adrian Newey is gonna build for them.
Yeah, but this is not going to be like a one man. This is not going to be a one man
Absolutely.
mission. This is not going to be a one
No,
man mission. This
absolutely.
has to be it
Absolutely.
has to be a collective effort for all
Of
the
course,
teams, pretty
of course,
much.
Newey has to work with his team, has to work with the Aston Martin team, with the technical department and the whole 9 yards. Absolutely. But to have that key figure within the team with so much experience is gonna be an absolute, like, it's like having a key to the city of sorts.
Yeah, listen, I said it. It's a statement signing for Aston Martin. I mean, and even considering Newey's career, you would say that either Williams or Red Bull was his toughest assignment yet. But to be honest, Williams were already at the up
Yeah,
back in the 90s.
Williams were already a top team. Were
Yeah,
already
they
the
were already
best
a
team.
top team.
Same as McLaren back
And
then,
even Red Bull, yes, you would
and
say
even
in the mid 2000s they were still at the middle portion of the grids, but I kind of agree that Aston Martin is going to be his toughest challenge yet. And speaking of Fernando Alonso, could this be like a last effort for a third world title? I wouldn't say so
yeah,
because
yeah.
I
I,
think
I, I would say so. I would say so.
okay,
I would say so. I would. I do believe that. It's not going to come next year. Maybe the year after.
yeah, this is, his contract is up to 2026. So if he really
No,
wants to make the
the
best of
year
the car,
after.
it's now pretty much.
Yeah, it's now
And
or never for him.
And I also told you that Max Verstappen is gonna head there once Alonso retires. Once
Team
Alonso retires,
Prince,
and
team
the
principal
rumors,
Mike Crack is
yeah,
open to the
yeah.
move.
Listen, and the rumors you said yourself, and the rumors are already starting. Mike Crack, the team principal of Aston Martin, said that that the door is open for Verstappen to make the move. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens because listen, if right now Verstappen is unsettled at Red Bull, considering
But listen,
their form of the car.
but the thing is this, yeah. F1 transfers don't work like football
No,
transfers.
they don't. No, absolutely not. I mean, they work differently.
Verstappen still has 4 years on his contract, till
Yeah,
2028.
yeah,
So, in order to buy him out of that contract, only someone like Lance Stroll can do that. Lawrence Stroll can do that.
yeah, definitely.
And if that happens, to me, Formula One would die.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Formula
I
One
mean,
would be dead.
in the famous words of Lewis Hamilton, cash is king. So
To me,
that would be a driving force. Yeah,
that's where the sport would change forever.
yeah. Listen,
If you can
we're
lure
gonna
some,
see changes in 2026. So
yeah, but that's technical regulations. What I'm saying is, for example, yes, Lewis Hamilton is going to Ferrari, but he's going to Ferrari when his contract expires.
yeah, definitely.
If Verstappen leaves, he needs to get bought out of his contract for an insane amount of money, which is something that is completely unheard of. And if you do that,
Fair
if
enough.
that happens, the sport would change forever,
I agree.
and it would
I
change for the
absolutely agree on
worse.
that. No, I mean, the changes that are already happening in Formula One, they're not like the changes that we mostly agree on, but this would be
For me,
like
it would destroy the sport.
this would be one of the worst ones, if not the worst one. I think.
If he goes to Aston Martin when his contract expires, no problems, no
Yeah,
problems. But if it gets bought out of the contract, that only someone like Lawrence Stroll can do, I think that's the sport where the sport, you could
And
say,
listen, yeah. And listen, I think even it all also depends on how the car's performing during that stage as well. Because
yeah, of
like
course, always,
if
always, yeah.
Newey fails to deliver, which I don't I to be honest,
To be
I
fair,
don't
it would be
see
a
that.
shock. It
You
would
know,
be a shock.
it will be a big shock actually.
But listen, it's not just Newey. It also comes down to the drivers.
No, absolutely.
I
I
have
mean,
faith in Alonso. I have absolute faith in Alonso, no
but
doubt.
Lance Stroll is the complete opposite on that. Yeah,
That's where my issue lies. My
yeah.
issue is with Lance Stroll
I
because
mean,
I don't trust him.
we have no faith in Lance Stroll, to be honest. I mean,
Absolutely.
we're not the biggest fans of him, unfortunately, but
The
um,
audacity to say
yeah,
that, bro.
he is nowhere near close to be a top driver, let alone just say those words
Even
in front of
Colapinto is
millions.
better
So
than him.
yeah, right now, 100%, I agree.
Even Colapinto is better than him, and it's his second race.
I would even say Oli Behrman, but I mean that's 2 races. That's a bit too much. But anyhow,
I'd say Colapinto.
no, yeah. But just to wrap up on this, yeah, Adrian Newey to Aston Martin, sensible move. We're not big fans of the move, but to be honest, it's a
I'm
realistic
a bit
move. I mean,
I'm a bit on the fence. I mean, I
okay,
wanted him at Ferrari,
yeah,
but absolutely understandable that he didn't want to go to Ferrari because he didn't want to relocate.
no,
No
no, no.
doubt,
I
no
mean,
issues on that. No issues
listen,
on that.
listen,
But in terms of Aston Martin, I think this shows ambition from their side. Absolute
yeah,
ambition.
I
Someone
agree.
like Lawrence Stroll only can pull off with the lore that he has, with the open checkbook that he has. And I think this is going to be a proper challenge now for Adrian Newey to start again from scratch. And I also believe that not just the money, because listen, 1.25 million a month is absurd, bro.
No,
30
no,
million a year is crazy. But
it's crazy money.
I think it's not just for the money, because someone like Newey, for me, he deserves every penny of that.
No, I mean
So
he's probably
this is gonna be a new challenge for him. This is gonna be a new challenge, and I think he's gonna rise to the occasion. Pause, and and of course, I think it's one that he's gonna look forward to.
and Christian Horner just came out swinging basically, and he's by saying that his announcement was a premature announcement because
Yeah, but
he
that's
said
that's
that he
salty,
still got an
bro.
RB7 to finish. Yeah, I
That's
think
salty.
there is. Yeah, it is salt. Yeah, I
That's
think
salty.
there's just so many problems at Red Bull at the moment that I mean, with Adrian Newey's announcement, it looks like there's like a complete breakdown a bit
Yeah,
in a relationship between that.
they
But
they need therapy, bro. They Red Bull need
yeah, yeah,
therapy.
yeah. I mean, we'll
They
get to
need
Red Bull
fucking
very
therapy.
later on, guys. But there's the problems that team has at the moment are stratospheric. I mean, to be honest, I mean, and they're getting even larger with every single race week. I mean,
Yeah,
last week and now it's this week.
yeah.
All right, that's it on Adrian Newey, and now we get into Baku in Azerbaijan, bro. This is one of my favorite tracks, so I'm just gonna go out and say it. It's a
I
twisty-turny
don't like
track.
the track. I don't like the track, but it always produced banger after banger
No, man,
after banger.
the races in Baku have always been bangers. I mean,
I don't like it as a track. I don't. I don't like it as a track. I'm gonna be
it's
honest. But they're
it's a
great
complex
races.
track.
But they're great races.
Yeah,
So if you produce great races, then I can't hate you. But as a track layout, I'm not a fan of it. But it produces great races.
no,
Year after year
and
after year, it's
even
banger after banger after banger like Seamus, bro.
and we always get like a couple of crashes and yellow flags and safety cars and like drivers going off
Yeah,
the track.
always.
The pit stops are super crucial in this track, especially. I mean, and it's also one of the longest tracks in the calendar. It's like 51 laps,
Yeah.
almost 1 minute and 50 lap times as well. So, no, personally, it's also one of the toughest tracks in general. I mean, even in the video game itself, it's such
True.
a difficult track
True. True.
to execute as well. So,
True. That castle section, bro. The
nah, yeah.
Leclerc crash section.
Nah, man.
I got it wrong plenty of times. I used pretty much a lot of flashbacks there.
Yeah,
I can't
definitely.
lie.
Now before we get into practice and qualifying, there were some news, there were some updates, changes regarding two teams. That's we're gonna start with Haas. Now, as you may know, Kevin Magnussen was suspended for this race for accumulating 12 driver penalty points. and
About
Oliver
fucking
Behrman
time.
was his replacement, and that is his second appearance of the season. And it's so he's also you just told me this before we started this episode, bro. He is the first driver in the history of the sport to race for two teams. Obviously,
True.
he was racing for Ferrari back in Jeddah. He had a great debut, getting himself into the top 10. And this was his second shot into the sport by racing for Haas, which is also he's going to be driving for them next season, as we mentioned in the previous episodes.
True.
And he had a bumpy start in the weekend. He went he went off track in the first corner in free practice 3, but that was like his only one of his very few bumps on the road during this weekend, because his race was he had another solid race overall. And it's not just him; it's also the other youngster, which we'll get to very later on the episode. Now,
Yep.
also, we had an interesting interview with regards to Andrea Stella at McLaren, and they said it straight out that that if Piastri and Norris were ended up basically we're gonna end up after another, Piastri would give his place to Lando Norris, and that is because
Yes, because
of the drivers'
they,
championship. It kind of makes
yeah.
sense to that. Um, and obviously based on this weekend, we didn't see that because Lando Norris unfortunately had a really poor qualifying session,
Yeah, but it
in
wasn't his
qualifying
fault though,
one.
bro. It wasn't his fault.
Yeah, obviously, but
It wasn't his fault though.
um, to be honest, when I heard that, I was a little bit skeptical because of what happened, obviously, back in Budapest. We saw that the Buffel on team orders during the last couple of laps of that race, and it nearly ended up in chaos. But unfortunately, but thankfully, there was cooperation between the two drivers. But yeah, with Andreas' comments, I kind of agree with that because Lando Norris, the gap between Lando and Max is getting shorter with every single race week. So with that, I have to agree that the strategy kind of made sense. I think you also agree, right, bro?
Listen, bro. Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. If you really listen, McLaren haven't won a title and God knows when. When was the last time McLaren won the title? 2008?
The constructors or the drive? No, that 2008. Yeah, 2008.
2008. 2008. A title, whether it is drivers or constructors. 2008, I
2008.
believe.
That's
No,
2008. It's a long, long time, man.
long time ago. Listen, same as Ferrari. 2007.
Yeah,
Same. So you come to a point where desperate times call for desperate measures. You gotta do what you have to do for the team.
yeah.
I agree with that. It sucks to be the second driver. It absolutely sucks. But you need to put the team first. So
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, uh, so before we get into qualifying, bro, practice. Now we normally don't talk about practice, but there were a couple of memorable moments in practice. Obviously, a lot of drivers going off the track, going off the barriers more like because this is the street
Leclerc
circuit.
crashing
Leclerc, 2019 flashbacks pretty much in
again,
Azerbaijan with I am stupid.
again.
Um, that corner, man, it always seems to come back to bite him. Eh? What do
Yeah,
you think?
that should be called the Leclerc corner.
Yeah, the Leclerc corner for the wrong
That should be
reasons, obviously.
actually exactly. That should be called the Leclerc corner. He crashed on it, but he crashed in 2019. He crashed when he was playing Formula One, the video game during COVID, and
Yeah,
now this weekend.
yeah. George Russell also went off. He obviously said the fastest time in free practice 3, but he also went out in back in free practice 1. We already mentioned earlier Lance Stroll's comments of the car not being a race car pretty much, which is just absolutely ludicrous.
Hilarious, bro.
And even Leclerc said the same thing as well. I think he was on a fine lap, and he just bailed out and went to the pit straight away because he thought the car was undrivable. So it wasn't just Lance Stroll; it was also it was also Leclerc
Yeah,
saying the
but
same comments. But
they ain't nothing new with Ferrari though.
yeah, with Ferrari, I'm not really surprised with
And
those
it ain't
comments.
nothing
But
new, and
anyhow,
it ain't nothing new. Leclerc says something like that.
yeah, definitely. Um, oh, excuse me. Okay, guys. So we'll get into qualifying. We're gonna get into the same format. We'll start with who got knocked out in Q1, then we'll work our way into Q2 and Q3. In Q1, we had the usual drivers who got knocked out, but we had one big surprise, and that's Lando Norris. Now with Lando, unfortunately, he was on a flying lap, but unfortunately the yellows were out, and he was on a slower lap time. That put him in 17th place,
That is
which
so
is
unlucky, bro.
very shocking for
That
him,
is so
but
unlucky.
at the same time very unlucky because I would 100% guarantee he would ended up getting into Q2 easily,
Yeah, yeah, he was on to Q2. He was getting
barring
into Q2 lightly.
barring a disaster, obviously. So he was very unlucky to get knocked out straight away, and that for his world championship took a big blow. I mean, he had to work his way almost at the back of the grid. Now we had three drivers, no, two drivers that one of them got disqualified, and the other one had to start from the pit lane, so that pushed him up to 16th place. So yeah, for Lando Norris, hopefully it's a one-off. Yes, he was unlucky, but let's hope that that is just a one-off because 17th or 16th place at this stage of the championship for him to be fighting for the world title, that's not where he wants to be, man.
Not really.
Let's be honest. So
Not really.
um, okay, elsewhere, those who got knocked out of Q1, the two Saubers, Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu in 17th and 18th. Esteban Ocon in 19th with the Alpine, very poor session for him. And pretty much, yeah, those were the people who got. And also, oh yeah, I forgot Daniel Ricciardo in 16th with the race
Yeah.
he was. Bro, I mean, we've already gave our thoughts on Danny Ricciardo's season. I mean, at this point, I just can't see him getting a seat next season. I mean, he's just going through the motions at the
Listen. If
moment,
he,
unfortunately.
I think if he gets a seat next season, it's because he has a soft spot. They have a soft spot towards him.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
That's my take on it. He's a great character to have in the paddock, but that's my reason on him. I do rate him. I do rate
Yeah,
him, but you got someone like Liam Lawson in the background
yeah.
who
Or
was
any,
performing,
or any
who was
other
perform,
youngster, to be honest.
but you got someone like Liam Lawson in the background,
Yeah,
eager to get on. He's
yeah.
looking at that like he gotta be feeling some type of way about it.
Yeah, I just can't see him getting a seat next season. I mean, and we gave as many chances as we could for Ricardo. I mean, when he was with Renault, when he was with McLaren, and now at Racing Bull. So this guy has been given chance after chance after chance, and he's just not showing it, unfortunately. And it's a shame
Yeah,
because this guy had talent. He was winning races in his early days in Formula One when he was at Red Bull. So it's a shame. It's a big shame how Ricardo's career is turning out at this moment in time. So I'm really, again, I just can't see him getting a seat next season. He's just not delivering at the moment, man, and it's been going on for quite some time now.
yeah.
Um, in Q2, again, pretty much same procedure. Lance Stroll in 14th again. I mean, this is why I have no faith in Lance Stroll for next season because he's just, if you compare the two drivers, Alonso is just night and day ahead of him, man. I mean, again, he's a
Absolutely.
two-time
Listen,
world champion.
listen. Comparing Alonso to Stroll is like comparing a Ferrari to a Fiat.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree on that.
Like
So,
you shouldn't even dare to compare the two of them. You're going up
uh,
against a two-time world champion and has multiple experience.
yeah.
Stroll, okay, has some experience, but he is nowhere near a title
And
contender.
even his lap time was really bad, man. Like I said, 143.404. It's a really slow lap time for him, man.
Yeah,
So I understand that Baku is a really difficult track to get the best out of the car, but yeah, that's just not good enough for Lance Stroll. Has to be said. Nico Hulkenberg in 13th again for someone who really is consistent in qualifying. 13th isn't his best position, unfortunately. So
listen,
um,
Ollie Behrman though 2 tenths up on him.
yeah, and he ended up in 11th, Ollie Behrman. So
Ollie Behrman 2 tenths up on him.
I mean,
That was really good.
which I mean, the initial outcome was Hulkenberg getting the better out of Ollie Behrman, but that wasn't the case. So,
Yeah, it
but
was the other way
before,
around.
but before we get into Ollie Behrman and even Yuki Tsunoda because they finished in 11th and 12th, Pierre Gasly
Okay.
initially ended up in that Q2 spots, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, he was disqualified due to a breach in his fuel flow, so he had to start the Grand Prix at the back of the grid. Yeah, unfortunate, but
He had to start
r-
from the
r-
pit lane, no?
no, I believe in back of the grid he had to start.
Back in the grid or pit lane? I'm not sure.
Ocon Hamilton had to start
Oh,
from the pit lane,
I switched them.
not
My
Pierre
bad.
Gasly.
Apologies.
No, yeah, unfortunate for Pierre Gasly, but rules are rules. I mean, if you break rules, you're gonna be disqualified. I mean,
It is what it is, bro.
it
It
is
is
what
what it is.
it is what it is. Yeah. Anyhow, Yuki Tsunoda on 12th again. Compared to his
It was
early season
solid.
form,
It was
not bad,
solid.
not
Solid.
bad, but again, best he could have managed with that racing bull. Oliver Behrman 11th, very impressive.
Very good.
Again, so far, Ollie Behrman in his two appearances in form in this season,
Very
he's
impressive.
it's a very good it's a very solid audition for next season. Not gonna lie.
Very. Very.
Normally youngsters take quite a lot. Normally young drivers take quite a long time to settle into the sport, but not the case with Ollie Behrman. He's really getting the best.
Both him and the other dude.
Yeah, and that's Franco Colapinto, which we're gonna get straight to Q3. Q3, both Williams in the top 10. Alex Albon in 10th and Franco Colapinto in 9th. And
And
that's not the
listen, and
first.
listen.
Yeah,
What happened? What happened with Albon in Q3 with Albon's car is they left some sort of airbox fan
yeah.
when he left the pit stop. That's Karun Chandhok was saying that was a schoolboy error. I don't know. It wasn't Karun Chandhok. I don't know who it was, but one of the commentators.
While the
That was,
commentators, yeah. I kind of agree.
but he did say that that is an unheard of error, and it's true because I've never seen anything like it. To let the
Yeah,
car leave with an airbox fan of sorts, a
no.
component still on it.
No,
Like,
for someone like Albon to do that error, that really is a schoolboy error for him. But
yeah, no,
listen,
but it wasn't Albon's fault. It was the team's fault.
yeah, more
Not his
like the
fault.
team's fault. But listen, going back to the positive straight away for Williams, those upgrades are starting to pay off, man. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
shame. Obviously, it's a shame that Logan Sargent had to obliterate that that recently polished and upgraded car.
yeah. He had to.
However,
He had the dip.
fantastic qualifying for Williams, especially
Absolutely, both Williams did
especially
good
the
qualifying.
arrivals outside the top, finishing starting outside the top 10 places. But we're speaking, I mean, Alex Albon is obviously the main man in the team, but Franco Colapinto, this guy, in 2 races, he's already outperformed what Logan Sargent did in
True,
his entire
true,
time in Formula One.
true.
He is delivering tenfold at the moment, man. Um,
Absolutely.
a ninth place, in only your second start in your second race in Formula One, and it's a pretty solid lap time, a 142.530 in that Williams.
Yeah.
And obviously afterwards, a very
About 3 times quicker than Albon.
definitely. Um, uh, no, and obviously afterwards there was a very sweet moment with him and his mother, sharing a hug between the two. I mean, obviously our
Yeah.
rookies in the sport and he's very close to our family. We've seen that with many young drivers, already. So yeah, with Franco Colapinto, super impressed with him so far, and his race was even better. By the way, we're gonna get into the race very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Williams 10th with Albon and Colapinto in 9th. Fernando Alonso in 8th. With that Aston Martin, he did the best he could. A decent
Absolutely.
qualifying session for Fernando Alonso. Again, this season for him, it's been up and down for me, and
Up and down.
uh,
Same. Up. Same
it,
time.
it's
We
been
can say it at the
it's
same time.
it,
Up and
yeah
down.
it's been up and down season for Fernando Alonso. So, and this is one of his, I would say, in terms of qualifying, one of his best. I think one of his better ones. I would say so. 8th place is the best he could have managed. Um, Hamilton in 7th with that Mercedes. Again, not great for him to be outside the top 5 places. But again, I mean, 7th place.
It was even worse. It was even worse for him at the race, though.
Yeah, his race turned out even worse because
It
unfortunately
was
with
even worse.
Hamilton, that 7th place was shorted because he had to start at the back of the grid because of a power unit change. That also happened to Esteban Ocon, but Ocon finished at the back of the grid, literally in 19th place, so that made literally no difference for him. Max Verstappen in 6th, very, very poor for him, man. With regards to Max Verstappen, I mean,
Bro, this is the first time in a long time Sergio Perez has outqualified Verstappen.
in one of the very rare occasions, because and listen, Sergio Perez, he's the king of street circuits, and Baku is one of his.
Allegedly. But listen, according to the table of points, Leclerc now is the king of the streets.
Yeah, I agree with
With
that,
100
but
points.
yeah,
According
I
to the
agree.
table, I'm not stating this, it's the table.
Yeah, no, I agree
Numbers don't
actually.
lie.
No, numbers don't lie actually, but yeah, with Max Verstappen 6th, very, very poor for him. That's not where he wants. I mean, this is not a blip anymore for Red Bull. I mean, the struggles
There's
are
major
there to be
issues.
seen at the moment. So there are major issues.
There
We're
are
gonna get to them
major
obviously
issues,
very,
bro.
very late.
Major.
And the top
Sorry to
5.
interrupt you, bro, but bro, sorry to interrupt you, but 3 minutes in,
Yeah.
AC Milan just scored.
Oh wow,
AC Milan just scored. Christian Pulisic.
they're playing home or away though.
Home.
Wow. Oh, lovely. His race, unfortunately, was the complete opposite. But
The ending, especially.
yeah,
Man,
the ending, especially with them. Sergio Perez in 4th, Carlos Sainz in 3rd, Oscar Piastri in 2nd, and Charles Leclerc back to that's another pole position for Leclerc, which
Man, that was mega from Leclerc.
mega
That was
for
a
him.
mega lap. There are certain drivers, right, where you put them on a certain track and they're just on another planet.
Yeah.
They're just at one with the track.
And listen, his lap time, he got pole position at a considerable pace. I mean, with a 1:45.365, Oscar Piastri was just 300ths of a second behind. So,
3/10 of a second.
3/10 of a second, excuse me.
No one could compete with him that day.
No, absolutely. I mean, as you said, I mean, Leclerc is the king of street circuits at the moment.
Apparently,
I mean,
according to the table.
listen, let's not underestimate Sergio Perez, because comparing to his previous qualifying rounds, that was much better for him. Again, one of the very few occasions where he has out qualified his teammate. So considering where his race was gonna end up, a great session for Sergio Perez, and even Carlos Sainz. Listen, for both Ferraris into top 3, that is the perfect way to make a statement if you really want to keep up the pace with both McLaren and Red Bull. More Red Bull right now than McLaren, because McLaren right now is the team to beat. And Oscar Piastri, 2nd place, great. Listen,
Very good.
This kid is continuing to impress with every single race week. And again, out-qualified Lando Norris, and getting into the front row is exactly where the team wants to be at the moment. So yeah, to wrap up on qualifying, a great qualifying session for Ferrari, Leclerc specifically, and yeah, with Lando Norris a setback, but we had no issues because Piastri was at the top at the second row of the grid.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the race very quickly. Now, we said that Baku has chaotic starts. This was not the case. I mean, we
clean
had
and serene.
Clean and serene. Now, obviously, Lando was at the back of the grid. We had Hamilton and Ocon, who were started from the pit lane as well. So the start was pretty serene, bro. But
it was pristine. It was pristine.
Was pristine.
Apart from the contact between Lance Stroll, funnily enough, and Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah.
But that was in turn 1, turn 2.
Well, the first few turns,
4,
actually, yeah.
It was turn 4, I believe. Turn 4.
Yeah. Now, during the first couple of laps, Leclerc was maximizing the best out of the car. However,
that was a point before the first pit stop where he was about 5 seconds.
Was the first pit stop. But however, we mentioned Lando Norris. He was already making a lot of ground. From the back of the grid, he started racing in 16th, and by
the fact that they started Norris on the hards absolutely paid
definitely. And yeah, those tires absolutely paid off, because by lap 3 he was already up to 11th place and getting into those top 10 places. So
pardon me.
Yeah, no worries, man.
This acid reflux is killing me.
Yeah, same here as well, man. I mean, I'm
God.
Exactly. But now for the next couple of laps, not much happened until lap 15, where obviously Lando Norris between those laps and during those laps, excuse me, he was working his way up to the grid. And by lap 16, he was already up to fifth place. I mean, he was already up to fifth place, overtaking Sergio Perez, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that
let's,
was because
let's
of the pit stops, bro.
yeah, the pit stops, and I was going to mention straight away now. The pit stops were starting to take place during this lap. We've had Oscar Piastri making his first stop. The two Ferraris stayed out, and unfortunately, that with the case of Leclerc, obviously made his pit stop afterwards.
Was it
Uh,
McLaren that stayed out?
no, Leclerc, not McLaren. Leclerc actually stayed out for a couple of
I,
laps because
I, I can't
by
really remember. Yeah, I
no,
can't really remember.
because by lap 20, Piastri took the lead of the race, and bro,
Yeah, that was a mega move.
that was a brilliant move
That
from
was
Oscar Piastri.
ballsy. That was gutsy. The only downside for me is that Leclerc, it's like he did not expect it. He didn't expect it from that far away, so he sort of fell asleep.
Yeah,
But that was a ballsy, gutsy move from Piastri. Chapeau, honestly.
and listen, that Ferrari on straight line speeds, it's never the strongest car. And again, you basically have a McLaren right
And
behind the
listen,
stage. So
and practically, from that move on, it was practically Leclerc chasing Piastri and couldn't get anywhere near him. Piastri was doing what Leclerc should have done into turn one,
yeah,
defending
absolutely.
the inside line.
However, there was a lot of close racing going on. Piastri made the overtake, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, during
Come
those
again,
last
come
couple.
again. I didn't
No,
catch that.
once Piastri made the move, made the overtake,
Yeah,
there was a lot of close racing happening between
yeah, absolutely.
between the first four bases. I mean, initially it was a three-way race, but Carlos Sainz actually
Caught up.
caught up with the pack, and the last couple of the second half of the race got really really tasty, bro. I mean,
Yeah. But
and
listen, but then it got even tastier, not for first place because
yeah,
Leclerc's tires practically fell off a cliff, especially
yeah.
the rears, and Piastri just sailed ahead for the victory. So now it was a battle for the podium places between Leclerc, Perez, and Sainz.
Yeah.
And we all know what happened.
Yeah,
No?
yeah, we all know what happened. Sainz and Perez, after basically what happened there, they end up colliding with each other, and both cars were out of the race. Now, initially, bro,
On the fucking straight, bro,
yeah,
on the
man,
pit
yeah,
straight.
of all corners, they literally collided on the straight. Now, bro, my initial reaction, I thought that Sainz deliberately took Perez out of the race to help not only his teammate Leclerc, but also to be fair, McLaren as well for the constructors because
Yeah, but
um
it don't make sense. Like, bro,
no no
you
no
have a constructors to fight for. I mean,
yeah
not for the title, but at least for second, third place.
yeah absolutely
It,
however, looking back at the replays, I think both drivers are in fault here, bro.
yeah, both drivers are at fault, no doubt. Both drivers. I think it
Yeah,
was a loss of concentration because they were looking ahead
yeah,
and not really aware of their surroundings, which I can understand. But it was Perez. He was behind Sainz, and he clipped his rear. Pause. He clipped his rear. He clipped his rear, and they just ended up colliding into the wall. That's
yeah.
what happened.
And Perez
And it played
yeah,
perfect.
sorry.
It played. Sorry, pardon me. It played perfectly into McLaren's hands.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, Perez, understandably very, very pissed off because he was having a great race, bro. He was on his
Absolutely.
way. He
And he
was on his way
really
to,
needed that.
yeah,
He really needed
yeah.
that, bro.
Listen, he was on his way to score considerable points because, listen, if Perez ends up in the points, McLaren would probably not take the would probably
No, you
wouldn't have
wouldn't.
taken
I
the top
wouldn't.
spot of the constructor standings. Absolutely,
No.
and I kind of feel a bit for Checo because this would have been this would have been a big boost for him, but unfortunately, he walked away. He basically ended up with nothing. Now, thank God both drivers are okay. And
That's
listen,
the
you
first
can
thing.
thank the lucky stars that wasn't Leclerc,
Oh,
because that would have stinged even more, to be honest.
even worse. Like, imagine both Ferraris and Perez, bro.
Yeah,
Norris would have somehow ended up on the podium, same as Verstappen.
Yeah, definitely.
It would have been a McLaren one too.
No, definitely,
It would have
absolutely.
been if if that was Leclerc with them along with Perez and Sainz, it would have been a
Nah,
McLaren one
listen,
too.
like at a three car collision. I mean, we're
That's pretty unheard of.
that's wishful thinking. But
That's pretty unheard of
no,
for
I mean
at least for
yeah.
you.
Listen, you said that played in that came in favor with that played in favor in McLaren's hands, and it was true because Lando Norris end up in fourth place, and he also got the fastest lap of the race, and Oscar Piastri saved his way into victory, and for Oscar Piastri that was a superb performance from Oscar Piastri. I
Absolutely,
mean,
he won the race with the move.
yeah, that move pretty much signaled.
It,
Listen,
it,
the last couple of laps was a bit nervy. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Leclerc was just at a hundredths of
he
a
gave
second
it
behind him,
everything. Then
pretty
he
much.
was giving him he gave him everything he could, but then the tires just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, the tires
And it was
gave up,
expected.
unfortunately.
It was expected.
Yeah,
Now, why did Piastri's tires didn't give up and Leclerc's did? It is because it was always behind Piastri, pause, and because of the dirty air. Because of the dirty air, the tires were graining more.
and you said as well that when McLaren are on their hard tires and when they're on their last stages,
Their tires just
we're on another level,
bro.
pretty much. Yeah,
It's like playing New Star GP and you do a perk or
yeah.
something and the tires have a little boost of sorts.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Which
No,
is
but
crazy.
going back to Oscar Piastri, just superb for him, man. This is only his
Absolutely.
second
This
season in
is
Formula One.
second season,
Yeah,
his second win, and this one was more deserving than Hungary.
yeah, and I was very happy to see him just celebrated properly because what happened in Hungary was basically a team order move, and that pretty
Yeah,
much dented the occasion. But not last weekend, man. Last weekend was the complete opposite for him. And
yeah.
listen, with Lando Norris, listen, I would have obviously preferred Lando Norris take the win because of the driver standings, but with how both drivers end up starting in qualifying, I think Oscar Piastri deserved this, man. I mean,
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
was a fully deserved win, and he is showing. He is living up to his potential, man. I mean, listen, he's already won two races in his career. I mean, and they both happen to be in the same season. And this kid could end up being a Formula One world champion in the future. I mean, he is showing
The
his
potential is there.
the potential is there to be seen, man. And I and this is more than just a second driver performance because with McLaren, the thing is we have just two talented drivers
Listen,
on our disposal, man.
this puts Norris on notice.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
This
I
puts Norris on
100%
notice.
agree.
Like, hey, yo, listen. If he's like Piastri's like, hey, yo, listen. If you fuck this up, pause. If you fuck this up, I'm here to take your spot.
Yeah, he
I'm
is.
here.
And what I love about Oscar Piastri is he is a no nonsense driver. He really reminds me of someone like Nicky Lauda with his mentality and with his performances and how he approaches the sport. So I really I really hope that this continues on for Oscar Piastri. And listen, not underestimating Lando Norris at all because Lando Norris had a fantastic race. I mean, this guy started at almost at the back of the grid and he finished not only in fourth place, but he also set the fastest lap of the race. So that's even more points in the bag, and
Yeah,
that puts us at the top of the constructors of the
by
constructors
20 points.
of the constructors championship points by 20 points. And now, bro, the pressure is on us. I mean,
Yeah,
we're now getting into the business end of this Formula One season, and the pressure is on us now. I
which
mean,
listen,
we're now the hunted. Yeah,
to me, you're the hunted. To me, if you don't win at least one of the titles now, after what just transpired in Baku and how the situation is,
yeah.
if you don't win anything, to me, it would be a flop season. It would be a fail.
I wouldn't say a flop
This
season
listen,
because no.
listen, the titles, any title is now yours to lose.
Yeah, but I think the driver standings is still going to be very difficult for us to achieve. But the constructors, yeah, that would that would be a bit of a big blow if we would have missed out on we would have missed out on it. But listen, there's
And
still a lot more
in,
races to
in
go.
order, the only way for y'all to lose the title is for a somehow magically Perez resurgence.
Yeah, which I can't really see it, to be honest, because which I can't really see it, to be honest. So
Yeah,
yeah, and just let's get straight into it, bro. Driver of the day.
I'll go Piastri.
I would say the entire team, to be honest, bro, because
Yeah, but but it's
this.
not team of the day, it's driver of the day. Don't
Yeah,
be
but I would say
fucking.
I would
Don't
say
be
winners, bro.
stingy.
I
Don't be
want to cheat.
stingy, bro.
I want to cheat a bit,
You
bro.
wanna
To be
cheat? Oh,
honest,
you wanna cheat? You
I
dickhead,
want to
bro.
cheat a bit. No, but
Yeah,
anyhow, let's.
You didn't say that when Ferrari did a master class in Monza, didn't you?
But hey, I gave Leclerc driver of the day. So
Yeah. And now you want to give team of the day because McLaren is the team you're
all
supposed to
right,
give
yeah.
dickhead, bro.
Let's go. Let's fucking go back. Let's fucking go back. Yeah, no. Listen, I agree. I think Oscar Piastri is a deserved driver of the day.
I'm
I
just
would
playing with you, bro. I'm just
Lando.
playing with you.
Yeah. No sweat, it, bro. But listen, I would also give Lando a shout as well because
Yeah, he deserves a shout.
he had a remarkable drive as well. But yeah, Oscar Piastri is gonna be my driver of the day, 100%.
You know how
Because
I'm gonna give a shout, bro. I'm gonna give a shout to Oli Behrman
I would give a shout to Colin Pinto, bro.
as well. Both
Not
of them.
just we get
Both
them.
of them.
We get them very soon, bro. But um, your thoughts on Leclerc, bro? Getting the runners-up spot. It would have been. I think he would be a little bit gutted about that,
He
but
was disappointed. I have no issue with that. He would be very. I mean, I wanted Leclerc to win to finally convert a pole. It was his fourth pole in a row in Baku, which
yeah,
is crazy. Finally converted into a win. To me, it was his best chance. But shit happens.
yeah,
Shit happened. He got second. He gave it his all. Tires fell off a
yeah.
cliff. It happens. But I think knowing Leclerc, knowing that he at least he gave it his all,
That's enough.
that's the best he could do. He did the best he could.
Listen, at least he
If I
didn't
was
end
him,
up in the barriers.
at least, just like Perez and Sainz.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. No, but I mean, it's a runners-up spot is always. I mean, it's a very good decent result for him. But obviously, he would have liked to have won the race. I mean,
yeah,
if he would end up getting back-to-back wins, that would be some statement for him.
yeah.
Um, George Russell just can't believe his luck. I mean, end up in there because
Again, bro.
I mean, if Sainz and Perez didn't collide, he was up, he would have ended up in the podium places. So
Again, just like
he couldn't believe
Austria.
his luck. But
Yeah,
hey,
just like Austria,
podium.
bro.
But hey, podium.
It is a podium. He'll
He'll
take it,
take
no
it. He'll
doubt.
take
He'll
it, no
take it.
doubt. He'll take it, no doubt. Lando Norris, we already mentioned him. Fantastic drive for him to start from the back of the ground to end up in the top in fourth place and to set the fastest lap. More points in the back for him. So great result for Lando. On the other hand, Max Verstappen in fifth. I mean, again, poor,
Apparently, that car, according to him, that car has no bite.
yeah, no bite, man. Listen,
Apparently,
I mean, ever since Max took I mean ever since Max took a photo took his photo
with Leeds,
with the Leeds United players, he has fallen off a cliff, bro.
yeah,
I mean,
they jinxed
complete.
him. They
They jinx him.
jinxed him.
The classic Leeds United jinx. I mean, let's be.
And he did an interview with Fabrizio Romano, and it turns out that he's actually a Man United fan.
Yeah, and I was surprised by that. But I mean, Red Bull. For those who don't know, guys, Red Bull are the main sponsors of the United, so that's why Max took the photo with the United players. But anyhow, ever since that happened, he has completely fallen off a cliff, bro. I mean, Red Bull's problems at the moment, they're not a blip. I mean, we've said it time and time again. I mean, ever since this streak has started, pretty much.
They need
Um,
therapy.
they 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 are in crisis mode, bro. I mean, and even with Paris's retirement, that puts salt on the wounds. They scored. Oh, fuck off.
Konate.
I thought they had. They scored. Okay, never mind. Anyhow, no. Ever since that happened, they have been falling off a cliff, bro, and they really need to get their act together for the last couple of races. If they continue up with this pace, um, I think even Ferrari would and would end up. I think even Ferrari would overtake them for the runners-up spot. But
Nah,
anyhow,
I
let's
don't think
see a
so.
bit.
Nah, I don't think so. Well, listen, I mean, it ain't that far. About like what?
Yeah,
31 points?
there
Doable.
isn't there isn't much, bro. Anything can happen.
Doable.
Anything
Very
can
doable.
happen.
That would be a fall from grace from Red Bull if it would happen.
No, no, absolutely.
That
They
would
would
be
have
a fall from
come
grace.
full on butter, bro.
Maybe they need those CD items. They need that wind tunnel time.
Yeah,
Probably.
exactly. But anyhow, Fernando Alonso in sixth. Obviously, with the double retirement of Perez and Sainz, that pushed him up further up the grid. So Alonso in sixth. Yeah, that's kind of big points in the back for Aston Martin. 8
Yeah.
points for them. So, and again, his teammate unfortunately ended up at the lower end of the grid. I mean, he ended up retiring from the race as well, with a mechanical issue. Um, excuse me, Williams, what a weekend, bro. 7th and 8th. Alex
Both Williams in the
Albin
points.
and Franco Colapinto. So listen, they are a pick for I mean, one of them, either Colapinto or Albin, would have been a contender for me for driver of the day. But I would,
I can go. I'm gonna go for Albon because of his usual tire saving
yeah,
tactics.
definitely.
His
But
tire
even
saving tactics are crazy.
Colapinto was a great shout as well. I mean, Colapinto is
Absolutely.
absolutely delivering so far
Yeah.
in his like in the chance he is given in sport right now.
Yeah.
And listen, I mean, James Vow said that he literally told Franco Colapinto, "Do your best shot," and he is absolutely delivering. And if he continues at
He,
this rate, I won't be surprised if he ends up at Sauber as the second driver to Nico Hülkenberg. We are
he
hearing
could. He could.
listen, there are shouts that Vettel could end up there as one of the drivers, but I would love to give Colapinto a chance if he ends up if he
I'm gonna
continues
go
at
with
this
Vettel
pace.
though. Still, I'm gonna go with Vettel
Yeah, I mean,
instead of Colapinto.
yeah, the fans. I mean,
Maybe
most
put
of the
maybe
fans
put maybe
will
put maybe
go
put
for him. Yeah,
maybe put someone like Colapinto as a reserve driver.
yeah,
But I would go with Vettel for a second driver along Hulkenberg for Audi.
definitely. No, I
That
agree.
would be great. That would be great. He would play the Schumacher role just like Michael Schumacher when he came
Hmm.
back in 2010 with Mercedes. Such an abundance of experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Such an abundance of experience. Pardon me.
Yeah,
So,
so.
but we'll have to see on that.
Yeah, I agree. Um, elsewhere, finishing up the top 10, Lewis Hamilton in ninth. Again, the same with George Russell. He cannot believe he ended up in the top 10 because he had a very poor race, Hamilton. I mean,
Yeah.
he had to start at the back of the grid, at the pit lane for a power unit change, as we mentioned previously. And he had a very poor race in general. I mean, he was literally languishing. He was languishing behind the cars in front of him, and he couldn't make an overtake. And to get himself into the top 10, very lucky for him.
Yeah.
And Ollie Behrman getting the final point. Now, according to him, it was an undeserved point. But listen, I don't want him to be too harsh on that. I mean, he's still a rookie, and to get himself into the points on both appearances this season, it's impressive stuff for him. So,
And the
um,
first driver in history,
yeah,
the first driver in history to drive his first two races with
yeah,
two different teams and score points.
yeah. That
No
was
one
a
has ever done that, and probably no one will ever do it.
no, highly unlikely, highly unlikely. He will end up in
Absolutely.
those spaces. So,
So
yeah, all
shout out
right.
Ole Behrman.
Yeah, and shout out to all the drivers who end up shout out to the point to the drivers who collected the points at Baku. Driver of the day we already mentioned it's Oscar Piastri.
Piastri,
Other contenders Lando Norris.
Ole
Either
Behrman,
either one of
Colapinto,
either one of
Albon.
either one of Franco Colapinto or Alex Albin. Oli Behrman is a shout as well. Hey, even George Russell could be also a shout as well. It's going to be Oscar Piastri. Loser of the day. Oh, tough one. I would I think it's either of I think it's Verstappen, bro. I think he's gonna be my pick.
Bro.
I can't say Leclerc because he
No,
got
no,
himself
no.
into the points.
I mean, he gave it his all, Leclerc. You can't really blame him on that. And his tires just fell off a cliff. They just fell off. I don't know who I'm gonna go for, bro. I really don't know. Maybe Verstappen,
I
maybe
think Verstappen
Sainz.
I think Verstappen could be a shout. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Verstappen as well. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go with
yeah, same
Verstappen.
here. Yeah, same here. I think I think it's a decent
As
choice for
since his car has no bite now apparently.
nah, yeah.
Whatever the hell that means.
Listen, this is a big setback. I mean, they lost. I mean, now Red Bull are behind the constructors standings.
They're on a tightrope,
They're
man.
on the ropes. They're on the ropes at the moment, Red Bull, and even Verstappen getting a fifth place is the highest he could have managed. Not great, not great at all for him.
Yeah,
Um, the Dick of the day. Oh, that could be either Sainz or Perez, to be honest.
both,
I would go with both, bro. I would go with both.
both,
Dicks of
both,
the day. No,
both.
pause.
But I
Both.
would go with both.
And clown of the day is Lance Stroll, bro.
Yeah, because of the ridiculous
I think
comment.
we kind of both agree. All right, that is it for the Baku Grand Prix, guys. We're gonna get into very quickly into the driver standings, our top 10. Verstappen stays in the lead, in the lead with 313 points. Lando Norris is in second with 254 points and gaining up on him tenfold at this moment in time with 254 points. Leclerc in third with 235 points. Oscar Piastri in fourth with 222 points. In fifth is Carlos Sainz with 184 points. Lewis Hamilton in sixth with 166 points. George Russell in seventh with 143 points. And the same goes with Sergio Perez. They're sharing the same points. And Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll remain in ninth and 10th with 58 points and 24 points, respectively. In the constructors standings, we have a new team at the top, and that is McLaren, obviously, with 476 points. 20 points behind them. In second is Red Bull with 456 points. Excuse me.
Got you, bro.
Ferrari in third with 425 points and gaining up on them as well. Onto Red
31
Bull.
points,
Yeah.
as mentioned.
Mercedes in fourth with 309 points. Aston Martin fifth with 82 points. I'm probably going to stay there for the rest of the season, barring a remarkable run in form.
Nah,
Um,
I don't think they'll still catch up.
yeah, no. I mean, they're gonna probably gonna end up there. I mean,
Yeah.
the point, the gap in points is
Listen.
stratospheric, man.
The top four is settled.
Yeah,
The top
I
four is
agree.
settled.
Yeah, I agree. Racing Bulls in sixth with 34 points. Haas in seventh with 29 points. Williams have now overtaken Alpine with 16 points because of their top 10 finish, and fully deserved, I think, and even fully more, and even realistically now how the table is looking at the moment. Alpine in ninth with 13 points, and Sauber are still without a point. And
Man,
bro,
they ain't getting no points Sauber this season. No.
our bet so far is on hold at the moment. I
Yeah.
mean, let's be honest. So yeah. All right, guys, that is it. That is the end of today's episode. A bit messy in parts, guys. Apologies for
True.
that.
Yeah,
Um,
the Champions League's in the background, boys.
yeah.
It is
I
what
mean,
it
we
is.
have to. I mean, due to our circumstances, guys, we have to record this episode between not just the Champions League but also United as well because they're currently playing at the moment. We are
Oh yeah,
currently
how are they, bro? How are
we're
they?
winning. We're winning 1-0.
Oh, we're winning. Who scored? Who scored? Who scored?
Rashford scored. Rashford, and apparently it's a banger. He scored.
Okay. In the 16th minute. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Apparently it's a banger of a goal. So I need to see the replays on that as well. All right, guys. Now, guys, our next episode is gonna be not. It's gonna be next week, but it's gonna be taking place at the end of the week because, as I mentioned, and at the start of the episode, I'm gonna be away in Slovakia. I'm gonna be spending there around a week, so I'll return around Wednesday evening. So the episode is gonna be recorded on Thursday, and it will be out by Friday. So bear with us, guys, just for this week.
Not a
Our
problem. And listen, and the next race is not even that weekend because it would be in
Yeah, I mean after
20th
Singapore,
October.
obviously. So we'll give our thoughts on the Singapore Grand Prix later on next week. With that,
Yeah.
guys, I hope you have a great week, and as always, we'll see you for the next episode.
Thank you
Peace.
very much, guys. Good night. Take care.
Peace.
Love. One love.